Okay, so time to sit up now. Now we're gonna sit. We're gonna start to transition back up to the standing. And then first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna work on our feet. Now in
Okay.
fitness, the foot is highly, I've been in this business for a long time. The foot is highly neglected. The muscles of the feet. A lot of times people focus on the abdominals, I want to strengthen my, I want to lose weight, the cardio, the legs, the arms and shoulders. But the feet are the foundation of the human bodies. So you got to work those muscles of the feet. And you got to get comfortable with your feet too.
Yes, sir.
It's not about pretty shoes or fancy athletic shoes. It's about taking off your shoes and working your feet.
Let's
Now,
take
I'm a
those shoes
barefoot.
off then.
Yeah, take those
Let's
shoes
take
off.
those shoes off. Let's do this right. Okay,
One of
you
my
ready?
specializations, I'm a barefoot specialist. And there's one
Ah,
exercise to get those toes to
okay.
articulate. And unfortunately, a society we wear shoes that are too tight,
Mm.
too much on an incline. Even athletic shoes, too much on an incline. Too much thickness, too much cushioning, and also flexible. They're too stiff. All right, and those wreak havoc on our feet. I could go on about that, but ideally, your foot is the most mobile. There's so many more muscles, believe it, in the foot than the rest of the lower leg. Believe it or not, there's so many bones in the foot. So
Hmm.
one exercise I like to share with people is especially with the toes, since the toes a lot of times get jammed up. Sometimes at the end of the day your feet are stiff. Is to put your fingers in between your toes, which makes it very difficult for some people, and just kind of
Put the
wiggle
fingers between each toe.
interlace your fingers in
Okay, all
between each
right.
toe.
Okay.
Yeah, and just you can kind
Okay.
of flex your toe back and forth.
Okay.
All right, and it made me feel a little uncomfortable. You got to be a little gentle with it.
The
All right, then
toes
you're
have
gonna
not
go.
been exercised before. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Many people's feet, and that's one of my
The
clients. When I
feet,
present this
yeah.
to them, it takes them a while to get used to it. But it's a very unusual feeling. And but basically what I'm doing is doing like little circles with my fingers in between my toes. Just a little finger toe interlace here. Um, and if that's too hard, you could just individually move your toes back and forth. And there's so many more exercises you could do to strengthen the arch and help to minimize all type of foot injuries, plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis. A lot of times because the feet are not taken care of, they're being neglected for the improper footwear. And
Yes.
and also, at some point, especially at a certain point in life, you reach a certain age, your feet get neglected. Sometimes you may be at a point of no return.
Hmm.
I'm no, I'm becoming an expert on foot, but always consult
Hmm.
your doctor, your podiatrist. But definitely, I recommend people take off your shoes and do something with your feet. And if you go
Hmm.
to my YouTube channel, I have a whole playlist of foot exercises you could do. It's just simple,
Wow. Okay. What's the
great.
name of that?
Okay.
What's the name of that YouTube channel again?
Oh, 4 Kev's workout.
For calves
Four
workout. That's the number 4.
KEVSWORKOUT. All
Okay.
right. So now I'm in a sitting position,
Let me
basic
just fix my
stretch.
camera just a little. My camera's not showing me totally. Let me just tilt it just a little. That should be
Of course, I
better.
didn't do the other. I
All
didn't do
right,
that.
let's go. Yeah, that's better. Now they can see my
All right.
toes. There we
Yeah.
go.
Make sure and my other foot was feeling neglected and touch the other foot. Okay.
I know.
All right. I forgot about that. All right. So this is kind of like stretching. Try to sit up
Hmm.
nice and tall, stretching the groin area, the end of the thighs, and also the hamstring, the muscles in the back of the thighs.
Hmm.
This is some gentle reaches from side to side. When your feet are
That's where
apart.
I'm stiffest, right there. Well, one side is always more flexible than the other. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. And you have to address it. I don't know what your specific reason is, but yeah, you have to address it. And typically, when you give attention to both sides individually, like I could do a two. This is kind of like a two-legged stretch. If I just did this, we do things two sides at the same time. A lot of times you don't see where the
Yes.
imbalance is. So that's why I suggest do one side at a time. All right, and the side that you feel that it's tighter, or sometimes if the strength is weaker, sometimes you need to give that side a little more TLC, spend a little more time stretching it
Hmm.
or strengthening it. All right. And
Good.
bring those imbalances as close to each other as possible. So let's go to a little bit left, a little bit to the right. All
Okay.
right. So that's just to stretch out the groin area. And then
Yes.
finally, we're gonna do what I call a 90-90 hip stretch. One of my favorite stretches here. Now, one leg you're gonna bend. You're gonna cross it.
Mm.
We call external rotation of the front leg.
Okay, hold on.
And then
So
this
one
other
goes
leg
back.
goes back behind you. That's called internal rotation. So one leg is externally rotated. This one's internally rotated.
Okay.
Now, this is one of my stubborn areas. I'm very tight in my hips. So if you probably see me, I'm already look like I'm slanted. And if I don't, and as fatigue comes, my hand wants to go down like this. So basically, I'm gonna use my hand as a prop. But just sitting like this over time and kind of reaching forward gently will kind of
Oh,
stretch out
reaching
mainly your hip
forward.
external
Hold
rotators.
on.
And if you go backwards,
Hold on.
you
One's
can
here.
stretch
Oh,
out your
okay, I got it.
internal
I got
rotators.
it
Yeah.
better. So I'm reaching like so.
Yeah.
I'm
So reaching
reaching.
right. So at the front,
Love it.
and you can lean to the back. And
Lean
this
to the
this hand is
back.
my support hand. It's like it's my kickstand. Because if not, I always feel like I'm gonna fall over. All right. So this is a 90-90 hip stretch. It helps with a lot of hip mobility. You can switch
Let's
to
do
the
the
other
other side.
side,
Awesome.
externally rotate this left leg, my
Oh,
left, maybe your right,
my
and
ankles
internally
are.
rotate the other side.
Reach it to the
All right.
front.
And I think this side for me is worse. Feel unbalanced. Yeah, so I'm tighter. I'm definitely on my left hip. So John, I spend a little more time
Reach
focusing
it
on
back.
this side. My internal rotate, I can lean back, feel these muscles stretch over here, go into the groin area a little bit. So there's some floor stretches, and
Look, I'm
it's
doing it right.
you can ideally these stretches you want to do after you warm up, but if you
Mm-hmm.
do it when you first start, always be very gentle. You don't want to. Ideally, you shouldn't stretch cold muscles, but really be very gentle when you start stretching first, and over time it will get more limber.